Contracts, guys.
What up? What up? It's your boy Shill. Welcome to Netflix and Shill episode number 3. We've got the normal crew in here. Me, Shill, boy Captain CoinG. Crypto Burb is officially a new member of the podcast who is joining us on
Yeah.
and the boy Crypto Orangutan. And I'm super stoked, but we got Bitcoin Birch on the show today. What's up, Birch?
What's going on, everybody? Yeah, everyone already took all the crypto handles, so I said, you know what? I'll go old school.
Use my actual name.
Use my actual name, yeah. Ethereum Eddie didn't roll off the tongue as well.
There's nothing that works with Joel either, so.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
It's pretty lame. What's going on, everybody? Happy to be here, man.
Yeah, dude, glad to have you on. Why don't we just start off? You want to share a little bit of how you got started in crypto and how you're feeling right now about everything?
Yeah, absolutely. So for those who don't know my story, I got involved in crypto after hearing about it years prior in 2015. So it was like middle of the year 2015, and I used to be a poker player, not like a professional poker player, but I used to play a lot of poker online, and that's how I got into crypto is, gambling. And it didn't take long to realize that I was making more money holding that Bitcoin in my wallet by way of appreciation and value than I was actually gambling. And that's what really started to intrigue me. So in early 2016, I started to try to learn about the market, right? And I started to try to teach myself, about the tech and just network with people and learn from other people. And I spent about a year and a half just stalking people on Twitter. I had a different handle. I wasn't trying to be like an influencer or anything like that. I was just trying to really learn the space. I was pretty deep in my career too, and I was enjoying what I was doing. And so I was just a real enthusiast. And I started trading, and I started to learn how to trade. The fact that the market went up 2,000% from the time I got in definitely helped me be more successful, no doubt about that. But in the time since, I've learned a lot because I've seen a lot of market cycles, and I've gone through scams and random forks and crazy news and FUD, and I've had that experience. And so in 2017, I decided to trade crypto full time. I knew that it was going to be a big year. I'm very confident in the tech, in the space as an investor. And so I've been doing it ever since. So been in crypto for a little bit, I've done well for myself. And I co-founded Bitcoin Bravado in the middle of last year, and towards, it was August of last year, with a couple of other friends of mine, because we were sick of all the bullshit pump and dump groups on Telegram and all the bad information out there. And so we just wanted to kind of give a real solid approach. But because I don't know everything about a lot, the first thing that I did was I went out and found 10, 15 other people to help me. And so, the rest is history.
Okay. Yeah, I really dig what you guys are doing with Bravado. It's like one of the groups that I first started following when I got into crypto. So much respect there.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey for Bravado, hasn't it? Because you guys are officially the largest crypto group on Telegram, at least. I don't know what the metric is. So you've certainly built one of the biggest platforms in the planet for helping new people, which is something that's awesome, because in this space it's so easy to fall for scams and stuff. So
we all got beat up, we all, and you guys have probably experienced it too. And there's people in this space now who are very new who have gotten beat up as well. And so it's been really an exciting journey, and we work really, really hard at what we do, and we work to try to give a really just open approach, and people have responded to it. So it's been an awesome ride. We're looking forward to what's coming this year. Big stuff.
Awesome. So actually that segues pretty well into how do you feel about the market right now, especially seeing as we've, broken what many TA people are saying is the downtrend. So how do you see price action going? Do you think that we're going sideways? Do you think that is that Gat?
Yeah.
What's up, Gat?
We're at this business center in this hotel. We're in LA right now.
Gotcha. Okay. So do you think it's going sideways? Do you think that we're going straight up to the moon, the next parabolic trend? How do you see things playing out?
No chance that we're going to just go parabolic out of nowhere, in my opinion. I don't think we're going to see like a big V spike up. We did break the downtrend. The log downtrend was 124 days in, and we broke that. Sorry about that. We broke that the downtrend resistance. But I think we have to find some different. I think we have to find some different consolidation points. I think that we have. I don't know. People just don't even care. I think that we have to get to a point where, you know, we find some resistance and we consolidate, and then we come up a little bit, right? We'll do a little pump. We find some consistency. We consolidate. And I think that's probably what we're going to see. And I'm looking at a psychological resistance level of 10K. I think that makes a lot of sense, but I definitely think we're going to find some stoppage before there. And I think we're seeing that now. And so I don't think we're just going to pump back to 20K, but I'm definitely bullish on the rest of the year. I definitely think we'll finish the year above 20K for sure.
Alrighty. So what do you think are, you know, next week? Where do you think we'll be?
You know, looking at it, there's no reason to think that we're going to take a huge dump. I think that if we do come down from here, which I do think we will, I think we'll probably retest that downtrend, right? From a pure technical perspective, right? We broke out of that downtrend. It's a very long downtrend, 124 days. So if we do come back down and retest, if I'm looking at my chart real quick, we'll probably retest the downtrend, I think in a worst case scenario of 8,200 before we have another bounce. And I think that we could probably see that coming up in the next week or so, just because we had such a bullish last few weeks. I think that would make a lot of sense, that we come down, you know, maybe 10% over the next couple of days to a week or so before we find some consolidation and we do it again. It's awesome. Hard to know, right? But that's just what I'm looking at.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's certainly a fair opinion. I think I've seen that around from some other analysts. What are you guys' thoughts on Bitcoin going in?
You know, I'm still bullish. You know, I'm always pretty fucking bullish. I'm not gonna. I'm with Birch. I'm not gonna say that we're gonna wake up tomorrow and see 20K or even 10K. But I think in the next few weeks, I think we're going into the bull trend. In the next few weeks, we're gonna see some movement up and down, and hopefully we get back above 10K pretty soon. And I'm more focused on alts right now, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so am I.
Alrighty, Birch, what do you think?
Actually, guys, I'm thinking quite. Of course, I'm thinking like as Birch says, as you all say. It is not possible, you know, even in cryptocurrency market, for such a volatility. I mean, even if something like this happened by mistake, by, you know, fat fingers and so on, I would still like that should still be followed like by the, you know, biggest dump of all the time. But simply, I got quite astonished, but not this much, by Bitcoin breaking like this 8.4 thousand dollar, you know, this resistance, because I can remember I was doing some. I left my room like for 5 minutes or something like that, and was back in my room, and so oh wow, that was like 400 bucks, you know,
yeah, absolutely.
Upside. So that was quite astonishing. But still, because you know, I thought it was meant to go like a bit sideways for a couple of days, but it turned out not to go this way. As we're seeing at this moment, it is testing this resistance like this 400 above, which is the 8.9 or 8.8, depending on the exchange, of course. But this was previously, I mean, like back a month ago or something like that. This was a strong support, you know, from or 2 months ago actually, strong support for the prices, you know, to bounce on before the real, you know, this I wouldn't call the panic moves, but, you know, this denial or something like that. But still, what I'm thinking actually is that it is going to go sideways a bit like for a couple of days next. I mean, 2 or 3 days max, like being, you know, inside the zone of 8.4 to 8.9. But you know, it will need definitely more confirmation for the daily candle close. I mean, I'm waiting and looking constantly at these candle patterns, and that would definitely should be close, you know, above this this resistance, you know, to to give a bit more confirmation, that it is right now. I mean, I'm not feeling like this is like this, this completely bullish pattern, completely bullish like reversal and stuff. As you can probably remember, I'm being very maybe not very bullish, but strictly bearish. Bearish for Bitcoin midterm still, because actually it hasn't broken the resistance of that, that I set the resistance to be, because I thought the resistance would be like 12,000. I know it is like much more than it is currently, but this is like my private, maybe not a gut feeling, because it's not a gut feeling, it's more the technical analysis, but this occurred to be this point, this zone 12.4 exactly, the resistance, to be not to be broken by Bitcoin, and then started, all the bearish patterns, and all the bearish descending channels and so on.
Sure.
And yeah, still, unless unless and until Bitcoin really breaks this this zone, this resistance zone,
then you're
and
not
it will
bullish.
spike, yeah, then I'm not bullish simply. I mean, this is like the only midterm, analysis, and
Okay.
midterm like prognosis.
What are you feeling?
Well, actually, my focus is solely on alts right now. I think like we'll consolidate with Bitcoin for some moments now. I'm kind of surprised how many people are into the 100K train that quickly.
It's like we broke 8K. Now we're going to 100.
Yeah, like I also think
casual.
That like diagonal resistances are also not as big of a deal as I think everybody makes it. I think we still have a long ways to go before we can really get bullish on Bitcoin. But that doesn't change the fact that the market is getting bullish, and alts are right now looking really healthy. They made higher lows. Everything across the board looks really good. This is like the first initial sell-off from people taking profits out of the first run, and can't wait to get the few next weeks going on, because
absolutely,
it looks like it's going to be a lot better run than we had in December and January right now.
Awesome.
We got crypto.
Yeah, take a notice, guys, that the May last year actually looked like quite similar to this current situation. I mean, the April time back last year was a time, for the alt markets, to get into ignition, the ignition for the launch in May. It was like all, starting to buzz, giving the buzz, the increasing temperature for the market, is what I mean.
Yeah.
And it popped out and popped off in May. So I've been thinking like this is overall the similar situation here, and I think still it is like the matter of days, even if not days, that then weeks.
Sure. So I'm going to add one small short point to Bitcoin before we move on to our alts and news and whatnot. What I saw that was most important for me that we broke out of this bear trend and that we're at least neutral now is that we made a higher high on the overall Bitcoin market capitalization. The resistance, the old high was about $354 billion. And over this past, when we broke 9K, we hit 391. So we made a higher high, and we haven't actually gone back below 354. So that is pretty much my 2 cents on us not being bearish anymore. But awesome. So let's go on and look at some of the news that's been going around recently. Obviously, everything's been very excited with Bitcoin, but other things. Birch, what do you think are the most exciting news stories, or one that you that's really caught your eye the past 2 weeks?
So I think the common trend the last couple of weeks is, not even the last couple of weeks, probably the last month or so, has been OTC money or institutional investors. A lot of people like to throw the word institutional around now. You're hearing a lot of institutional talk. Institutional investors are coming into the space. They've been coming into the space. They've been coming into the space a lot longer than I think a lot of people understand. I don't think that's responsible for any pumps. I think the fact that we crashed 70%, bounced, crashed again, consolidated is the reason that we're starting to move back up. I think a lot of people are too quick to jump on manipulation trains and things of that sort. So with that being said, I think some of the news that we've been hearing is, along with like big money coming in, is these companies that are starting to support blockchain. And so I saw a news article last week that Amazon so there was this news that broke and it said Amazon files for cryptocurrency patent or something to that effect.
Nice.
Well, that's what you would think, but as typical reporting, because once the market turns, as you guys will start to see, all the Cointelegraph, CoinDesk, Bitcoin.com articles start to get bullish, right? They start to get.
We'll be getting the Amazon rumors for some time already.
Exactly. And people have been talking about Amazon accepting Bitcoin, this, that, and the other. Anytime the market's coming down, they tend to push articles out that are really negative. The only reason they do that is not because they're trying to manipulate the price. It's because that's what people read. When the market's pumping, everyone wants to read about how it's pumping.
It's just simple demand.
It's simple media. It's just how you play the game. Anyways, so with Amazon, they filed a patent for a streaming data marketplace. So the title to a lot of these articles is kind of misleading. They filed a patent just for a streaming data marketplace, and what they're looking at is using blockchain to help move that streaming data amongst providers more efficiently. In the patent, they specifically addressed one of the applications could be the ability to stream like updated Bitcoin prices via an application or cryptocurrency prices. So they made mention of cryptocurrency as a potential use case, but that's really not the purpose of the patent. It's really just it's a streaming data marketplace, and it doesn't get more, much more detailed than that. So people tend to jump on some of this stuff. These companies are going to come into this space. They're going to come in their own time. Someone asked me on CryptoGat and I's live stream, what's going to be the Google of blockchain? And my answer is simple. It's going to be Google. If anyone thinks that anyone's going to disrupt that, or if Google's going to let that, let anyone else be the Google of blockchain, you're mistaken. I can promise you. They've been working on this technology since 2010, 2011, if not earlier in some cases. So they're the best talent in the world. So don't be too quick to jump on. It's like, Amazon's going to accept Bitcoin. Who cares if Amazon accepts Bitcoin? We're so small right now, it doesn't matter.
Right.
We're playing a market trend.
So with regards to Amazon and blockchain, it seems unlikely that Amazon would, tokenize anything. Like there's not going to be some Amazon ICO. It's like they might incorporate blockchain internally, but you don't think that this is going to be something that, the public will be able to participate in at all, right? No. Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how 2018 plays out with some of the more established companies in this space, companies that some people aren't even that familiar with because they're so new, like OMG, Omisego, or Quantum, or Strat Token. These are companies that have been in since the kind of the beginning, and they've spent years on development. They have tons of employees. That they have a lot in the pipe. So I'm going to be excited to see what kind of exits some of those companies make. You have to remember that we're investing in startups, guys. They're going to have the same success rate as traditional startups. They're going to have the same exit strategies as traditional startups. Their goal should still be to make money, because as investors, we need them to make money to get returns on our investment in any traditional market. So I'm excited to see if Amazon or Google or some of these bigger companies do make acquisitions in the space. I think that could be really exciting, and I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that happen.
Yeah, no, that's it's very exciting to see how, because we're in this stage where all the big ICOs and whatnot have happened, but none of these companies really have, maybe a few of them, but none of them really have products that are actually out there, usable, making money. And so we're in this kind of in-between stage where now we've all made our 10x on the ICOs, and we're waiting for our 1000x when these companies actually start, doing their thing and, getting their products to market and actually, having the masses start using the product. So yeah, I completely agree with you. That's pretty cool news. So I'll talk about something briefly as far as news goes. Something that I saw was the IMF chairman, Christine Lagarde, recently said a bunch of well, not very much stuff, but she spoke out for cryptocurrency. She said it may not be wise to dismiss virtual currencies. Instead, citizens may one day prefer virtual currencies. And this is the chairman of the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, a huge financial institution. And seeing big dogs like that who have serious influence on big money coming out for cryptocurrencies, I saw that and thought that was a really big deal for the space, and us being brought to more public attention. But yeah, so Shill, Burb, and Orangutan, what do you guys think? What's big on?
I was fucking loving that Save Droid ICO shit that was happening.
All publicity is good publicity. I don't know.
Pure savage. That was a pure savage move. Like the guy just posts that picture on Twitter of him with a beer on the beach saying he's exit scammed with $50 million and then comes back the next day to bring awareness to the issue of scams. I mean, you can't put marketing any better than that. That was some good shit.
I think their investors disagree.
No doubt. But,
what about the Verge and Pornhub partnership? Because that's like one of the biggest deals so far.
Your main point of interest, Monkey.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that because there's other platforms that I'm invested in, like SpankChain.
Spank's actually really good. That's the only porno coin that's worth.
So I see that project, and I see they're starting from the ground up with their they're building an entire website and platform for adult cams as well as just normal porn videos that people would go to Pornhub for. So
SpankChain's got one of the best use cases, no joke, in crypto. That's a huge
absolutely. And the way I did a whole write-up on SpankChain, the way that the adult industry functions, the banks that we have now are really, literally, figuratively screwing these porn stars out of their own money. And so SpankChain, is solving a huge problem within the porn industry, which is a huge industry in itself. So, Verge, which is a huge currency, whether or not we like it, partnering with an already huge, strictly porn company, it will be interesting to see how that competition plays out.
I don't think that's really a competition. I mean, the only like con of Birch being partnered with Pornhub is getting a little bit more attention to crypto worldwide. But like, they didn't even. I'm wondering where the money went actually, because they didn't need to implement almost anything that would justify spending $3 million to get accepted on Pornhub. And it's not a partnership in any way because like they do not get any cons out of that either way. It's like
right. So it's just like
any other currency onto the platform that would change a thing.
Right. It's small, but it's still a privacy coin, which is a big part of what Spank is trying to be discreet.
I met guys from Spank yesterday, so it was the first time I had a chance to talk to them. They have a lot of big ideas, and there's no doubt there's a huge use case regarding Verge. I think it's kind of tough. I mean, as a fundamentalist, as someone who likes to invest in projects that have good marketing, good sales, they're in front of a lot of eyeballs. Pornhub's worth an estimated $4 billion. That's no joke. It's a big company.
It's still increasing.
I think it's actually more. I heard that it was more because it's a private company, so it's not.
2017 figure, and so at least that's based on revenue potentially. Oh, this is funny. I just searched for something and the hotel Wi-Fi just blocked me because I think I'm looking for porn. So it's a huge company. It's a huge deal. You say what you will. I'm not invested in Verge. I had my ride with Verge in December. That was a lot of fun. I'm good now, but it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
So for the news, when it comes to Polish side, I would still refer to the Polish taxation system. I mean, with the latest, really release on how to, how to, get the proper taxation on cryptocurrency. And yesterday, what is it? This Saturday today, right? So yesterday was like in Warsaw, in the heart of Warsaw. It was given, the protest for the cryptocurrency, havers, and all the influencers, came out on the, in the streets and gave the protest when it comes to, this overwhelming taxation. Because I'm not quite sure if you, Birch, have heard of our situation in Poland, because the taxation, it was like the very curious situation, because there is such a taxation that that would refer to cryptocurrency as to be for the taxation to be regarded in each and every transaction being made, actually. So if you play, for example, like play with bots, to trade on some fixed percentage, it would like make it times hundreds and if not thousands transactions. And each and every one of these transactions should be like, given the taxation back and forth. So it was actually like this very weird situation when you, for example, traded like with 15 or I don't know, let's say $5,000, for example, found in cryptocurrency. And even if you lost everything, it would still cost you like, I believe, $500,000.
Oh my God!
It's completely nonsense.
That's
So
right.
that was the reason for this, protest to be organized. And I think this was like I'm not quite sure if this was the very best idea, because this would like give, all the governments, institutions, the ability to see who we are as people, trading cryptocurrencies. It is like, actually the opposite, the opposite action than, being decentralized,
If you're
because
trying
the
to
power,
maintain the anonymity, going out and protesting.
Definitely. So it was like I didn't attend this due to this reason, as I say, because I believe it is like the opposite of the idea for the decentralization.
But it will be certainly interesting to see how other governments, including Poland, will handle, cryptocurrency regulation and taxation. And we've already seen that starting to happen.
It's still hope.
Yep. Awesome.
Guys, we got like 15 minutes left, so I want to move on to the next topic. I think the next thing we want to do is kind of touch on some of the bags that we have, or the bags that we really like. And
Shill, there are people asking for your bag right now, so we can start. I think.
I'm sure. I'll let Birch and Gat start, and then we'll.
Oh yeah, Gat's here. He's ghosting right now. But
Gat,
special guest.
Yeah,
Gat.
I'm in here. It's just me and Birch in the same room, so one of us kind of has to mute our mics at the same time. We're in this little conference room.
God.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So yeah, you want to know what shitcoins we're holding right now? Fantastic.
All right, one of you guys mute yourself. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'll get started. So every time I go on a podcast, I always have to make sure I get my Storm Shill in. Again, if you're going to bet against Bittrex Bill and the co-founders of Ethereum, that's on you. Not going to do it. It's too low. It's too, they're one of those companies that have working product. It's basically a D app. It's not that revolutionary, but it's a startup that I think is going to turn profit and have success. And I'm an investor. But since Storm just pumped 40% or something over the last couple of days, there's three that I really, really like, that I've taken interest in different categories. And when I say categories, I essentially mean like market cap, and also how I'm kind of playing. Actually, I'm kind of playing them all the same way. The first one is KMD. So I've recently talked about KMD more than before. There's been questions about Lightning Network in the live chats. No one does more atomic swaps than KMD does. KMD is hosting the first decentralized ICO from a company called Block Nation, coming up here soon. And I'll be sharing more information on that, and I'm sure that'll make its way around. I don't want to get too far in detail, but with KMD, this is a product that has that real use case, right? It has a lot of hype behind it as well. And they're a company that has a lot of cool updates coming out. So as an investor, I'm also looking for companies that have catalysts. So as a midterm trade, I think, especially as we lead up to this decentralized ICO that launches on at the beginning of May, I think as a midterm trade, if you're traders out there, KMD has a ton of upside. And it's also been performing really, really well recently. And a lot of sell walls have been getting taken out. Another one that I really like is Skycoin. And with Sky, one of the biggest reasons I'm intrigued by it is because it's a $140 million market cap coin. They have what's called Sky Miners. It's this physical product. You can DYOR, but it's only on Shittopia. I mean, it's on one crap exchange basically. They just listed on this exchange called ChowX, but I've never used it. Yeah. Sky is going to have, in my opinion, one of the bigger years. So Sky is one of the picks that I have that if you ask me in 6 months, I can almost guarantee you I'm still holding it. So that's something that I'm going to continue to cover. I'm very excited about. And then my third that I wanted to just quickly mention is Tomo, which was put on my radar back when it was doing an ICO. By some people I really respect in this space. It's something that you'll definitely be hearing more about. You can only get them on IDEX right now. So a lot of people have been talking about IDEX gems. I've even seen some people go so far as to say, if you pick up 10 coins on IDEX, one of them will 10x this year, and it's a pretty good risk reward.
That was actually my tweet.
Okay, yeah. I think there's a lot of upside with some of those coins because so many of them if not all of them. I mean, so many of them are ICOs that are now trading significantly below ICO price simply because of the market cycle. It's not because they're shitty necessarily. Some of them certainly are, no doubt. But there's coins out there that you can scoop. Tomo is one of them. Tomo's been performing pretty well. So if you look at the chart, you might feel like, I don't want to jump in. It's still a $40 million market cap coin. And I'm really excited about it. So
yeah, we are big fans of Tomo. Actually, I think all of us hold a bag here.
Yeah, Tomo's my shit. I love that shit.
Good.
We're big fans of IDEX. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say it's the best exchange right now for the gems. I mean, there are so many good ICOs, like 80% under the ICO price. It's insane. I mean, it makes a little to no sense to invest into new ICOs until these really get back to their initial prices.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
All right, Gat, what do you think? You're here, so you might as well. I know you guys are similar, but do you have any?
So yeah, I'll do the same three. I'll do my short-term trade, which is Icon, ICX. You can get that on Binance, but their platform's launching by the end of the month, their IISS platform. And if you look at the chart as well, it's just pretty primed. We're about 2 weeks out from the end of the month. And usually a coin like Icon that's been really hyped up before, everyone knows about, once their platform's going to come out, there's obviously a huge increase in price leading up to it. And there's kind of the sell the news. So I think it was 3 days ago when there was that Ncash FUD. Ncash was my biggest bag. I moved my Ncash into Icon. I'm expecting Icon to do like a 2 to 3x, in the next 15, 20 days. So that's my short-term trade. As far as, mid to long-term trades, you guys know that I love KuCoin. I've been accumulating a few coins on KuCoin. One of them is Key. It's self-key, and it's a KYC service. And they've actually been around for like 3 or 4 years. And they had a KYC company, and they moved, into crypto. And so now they're making a coin that's going to just essentially make KYC a lot easier and tokenize it. And more than just KYC, you're going to be able to put your identity on a blockchain. I know there's a few other companies trying to do this, but like I said, Key right now is about a $20 million market cap. They have like a 100-person team, and they've been doing KYC for about 4 years. Key itself, I don't know, it's been out 6 to 12 months, but they just launched their wallet, I believe, and then their wallet's also going to have Kyber integrated in it. So there's going to be, ERC20 tokens offered in their wallet, and then they're going to have a one-step KYC and send S. So they're going to have one click. They already have all your KYC information. You want to do an ICO or you want to send S to someone in one click, you can KYC and send S. So that's one of my favorite KuCoin bags. And then, always got to get the Aeon Shill in. Looks like Aeon's breaking out right now. But as far as a long-term play, Aeon's one of my favorite coins. It's all about interoperability. Everyone talks about it, but Aeon, as far as I'm concerned, is the only project that will let you send logic through the blockchain. or between blockchains, which means that smart contracts on different blockchains will be able to interact, not just like atomic swaps or swapping coins from one blockchain to another. So there's my short, mid, and long term. But I mean, almost everything on KuCoin just looks so good right now. If you want to buy it and hold it for 3 or 5 months, like you're almost guaranteed a 4 or 5x on some of them. So that's my accumulation place.
Right on, right on. Well, yeah, I think we all agree. Everything in the Interoperability Alliance is probably a good bet right now. But yeah, all right. I'll hop in. One of my favorite coins right now. I'm sure you've seen it. Lux coin, Cryptopia. Total very low cap. It's a privacy coin. And it has I think the second most expensive masternode for being such a low cap coin, which interests me. But they have a lot of stuff coming out in the pipeline, and it has so much room for upside. There's a lot of hype behind it right now, and it's only on one exchange. I'm certain that they have more exchange listings coming out, and so I'm very excited for Lux to do well. I think I already mentioned Spank. One of the biggest and most interesting use cases. A lot more than what I just mentioned, but I'm trying to keep it short. They have a lot going on, building an entire platform from the ground up. Lots of supporters. And it would be great for the porn industries and the actors in the porn industries themselves. So Spank is really big for me. And those are the only two I'll talk about right now. Shill, what are your shit coins?
Well, I talk about this one on every podcast, but I'm going to bring it back up again. Origin Trail track. Definitely one of my top picks. I'm super bullish on supply chain coins and anything that has to do with the supply chain industry. I really think it's going to be the way that we really merge the gap between the real world and the blockchain world. It's kind of where I've been super bullish on recently. Won't talk about it too much though, since I always talk about that shit. I'm adding a bag of MWAT here pretty soon. From all my research and what I've seen, MWAT is a super big gem. It's on KuCoin.
Good.
Another power one related to the energy industry. And from everything I've seen, it looks better than WePower and Power Ledger. So I'm super stoked on that one.
Oh, before you say your third one, are you saying AUK?
Sorry, what?
AUK.
What?
AUC?
Oh,
You have to talk about AUC.
That's my third one, dude.
That's your third one. Okay, all right, good.
Of course. So AUC Octus, it's awesome. I love it. It just got out of ICO. The ICO, they only raised $3 million. They're pretty much putting the retirement plans, creating a retirement plan platform based on smart contracts. So it's a really unique idea. They're tackling an industry that hasn't really been tackled yet in the blockchain space. Super recommend everyone to check this out because I think it's got massive potential. And it's probably sitting at around a 9 or 10 million market cap right now after it's gone about 2 or 3x out of ICO with that Ethereum rise. So it's still pretty cheap, still looks good. One of my favorite projects right now.
Awesome.
I'm hearing a lot about this AUC, and I'm about to FOMO. I can't buy any because I'm out of town. But I've just been seeing it break out like crazy on IDEX, and I've gotten 10 messages about it.
We sold Lil Uzi Vert coin on it, and he's been talking about it nonstop.
I got a message right when it got listed, and this guy was like, "You got to pick up AUC," and I get those all the time. But then the next day, I got like 10 more messages. You got to pick up AUC, and so I missed it. I'm gonna wait for it to consolidate a little bit if it does, but I'll be looking into that one soon.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to my choices, actually, I'm a big fan of decentralized exchanges, and that is why my picks would be Kyber Network. I'm a fan actually for some time for this coin. I'm bullish quietly on that. It is like in my opinion, it is like because of being listed in the on the Binance and being shielded lately by some bigger profiles on Twitter. It would, I'm thinking and I'm expecting this one to begin to have a bigger runs in the short future. I believe in next 2-3 weeks we may see. It's already started. Be some making some more interesting moves than sideways. So in as I say, overall the whole market, in my opinion, the alts market is like in the preparation stage at this very moment, but still it's an awakening. So it's a matter of time for example, for Cayman Network, to pop in and give some nice profits. For the decentralization on exchanges is the same issue for Loopring LRC. This was one, and this is actually right now one of my biggest bags on Binance, for example. Yeah, it gives you, of course, a decentralized exchange, and it stands an open protocol with quite active team, quite active, communicators and so on. But one of my picks I actually found out back in what was that? December? No, no December, but October or September, was Trigger Core for BlockSafe
Trig, yeah.
network. Yeah, I was I was actually shilling some. When my Twitter profile started to rise, to increase, to get broader, I actually shilled this one, but just before it went like times 20, I believe, like to 2000% gain in some short, I believe, 2-3 weeks, as far as I can remember, in its all-time high. Yeah, I was actually trading it with my stop loss sets a little bit below the current back then current pricing, and it dropped me actually off the train, and I was watching all the pumps from the side of it, which made me sad, really. But I believe this is one of the great coins, for sure, one of the blockchain real use solutions, because it refers to the weapons industry, actually, for the United States. As far as I can remember, it was backed back then in by the government, as far as I can remember. This low circulation supply, and quite high market cap, about 50 million dollars. It would yeah, plus technicals. I mean, still, as far as I can remember, I haven't it open in my browser. Yeah, it's waking up. It's waking up, definitely, and
Awesome.
Hey, Bird, before
Yeah.
we continue, I just want
Finish
to
up. I want to have mine. Last year.
We don't like to hear that.
just pause for a second. Birch has got to go. He's got to catch an airplane flight. I just want to say thank you for joining on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's good times.
Appreciate you being out here, Birch.
QLC, final gem, QLC before the end of the month.
Yeah.
QLC. Alrighty.
Thanks,
Have a
guys.
safe flight, man.
Thanks, boys. Take care.
Too.
Verb, you can continue, brother.
You mean me?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll be
I was
hopping off as
actually
well. Just wanted
quite
to
done.
say thanks for bringing me on, guys. I got to go pack up and get out of the room.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Sorry.
Thanks for hopping in, Gat. Appreciate it.
Buy rock token.
Word.
All right.
I was quite done. Yeah, by saying with for the end pick, that would be the trigger token, the trigger coin. I'm a big fan, totally.
Trig. Alrighty. And orangutan.
Yeah. By the way, this is like the worst nickname in whole crypto, I think. Like, you cannot even fucking spell it. It's terrible. Yeah, so I will get only one shield because every bag that I own jumped last few days, so I don't want to shield anything that is not on the bottom. I will talk about Rock Token, Rect, your favorite cash tag. It's a Gibraltar exchange. You say it in the same sentence with Legolas, but I'm a little bit more bullish on this one. Because first of all, it's already on, will be based on a stock exchange that already works and has like all the regulations in place. It's gonna be like also gateway for like normal people and institutional money, the same way like Legolas plans to do. But what's different is that Gibraltar Exchange also plans to focus heavily on security tokens. And with Polymath and all the noise right now around security tokens, this literally could be like the main big exchange. Like Binance is the exchange for altcoins and all those degenerates like ourselves. Gibraltar Exchange could be the place for like everybody with normal stocks, with crypto, with only good altcoins, with ICOs. Like this could be all in one, and they have all the backing needed in the world. They're also the members of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. The team is top notch. I mean, I think I'm the only person right now in the world that is talking about this, which is like surprising to me because this is probably one of only 5 coins that didn't drop in price. It never went below ICO price, even though it came out in the middle of the bear market. So that only shows strength, and it's also gonna be launched pretty soon, a lot sooner than Legolas Exchange. So get your fundamentals on this one because this might make some noise.
Awesome, Gibraltar.
You mean distract token? Or which
yeah, this one,
Okay.
the one that everybody makes jokes
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Well,
So yeah, before we hop off, this is a little end. Everybody, thanks for joining. Before we hop off, we'll just kind of go through everybody and give one final little piece of advice about whatever we're feeling like in terms of crypto. You want to start it off, Cap?
Don't take profits too soon. If alt season is right around the corner, we're going to be seeing some huge jumps in coins. And when I say don't take profits too soon, I mean don't sell your entire bag when it goes 2x. Because some of these projects could be, doing 10x, 5x, 20x. I would make sure that when you take profits, you can de-risk your investment on 2x, but be very careful because you might miss some huge movements very soon.
As I did on Trigger, right? Back in September.
Yeah, similarly.
Don't do what Monkey does. Don't listen to him.
My advice, don't overtrade this. Because like Twitter is the worst place ever when it comes to alt season because everybody's bragging about their profits. Like it's insanely how hard it is to resist like all those coins being shilled. And the truth is, like during the alt season, you should be just sitting back and almost not trading at all. If you do, go find some good undervalued low caps on smaller exchanges that will pop in like times 5 in a week or something. But other than that, hold your positions, keep it cool. The gains are gonna come to you anyway. I can promise you that if you overtrade, you're gonna miss the coin that you just left, and you're gonna get wrecked on the new one as well. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Smart.
Shill, what is your advice?
Just be patient, guys. It's I know when I first started, it was hard to not jump on every single trade and hard to watch other coins shoot up while mine were sitting kind of stagnant. Each coin's going to have its day, so just be patient. Wait for the gains to come to you, and you'll be making enough money, or more than enough money. You need.
Support your family.
For real. Well, guys, that was Netflix and Chill, episode number 4.
Damn, I didn't put mine saying here.
Not bad, Verb. Yeah, okay. Verb.
I think it's quite important. I think it's quite important for your for all the new money to that are entering the current market, because we want to prepare these newcomers, new buys, not to be not to give such volatility, not to stand such volatility for the market. So that would be like a few good lines to know. Always have a broader view. No, you can never actually rely on one single source for whatever you do. Actually, When you watch, for example, TV, you watch the TV for, from different sources, different programs, and so on. And the same situation in cryptocurrency market and in exchange, for the exchanges and so on. It's always have the broader view. Always, check the chart history, for example, because, for example, when the 1 hour candles chart says, this cap and handle being built, being formed at this moment, that does not mean it will, like, finalize in pump and so on, because of the very same cap and handle. But always check the previous history for the chart. For example, search for different sources, as I say. Diversify your portfolio. Never rely, never stick to one and single coin, because you can be easily wrecked with that. And always improve and develop. And this is like the biggest and the most important line for me, for my life, and I would say for you all to to get better and better and earn more money and be better and so on.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, Shill, now you can take us to the outro.
Word. It's been your boy with Captain Energy, Crypto Burb, and the Monkey Crypto Orangutan. We appreciate y'all for jumping on with us here on Netflix and Chill episode number 4, and we are out.